So we've been in this tremendously difficult season where it feels like everything is just getting further and further behind, whether it's finances or whether it's, things that we own wearing out and getting to a point where they're starting to break, or whether it's, physical health things that we need to take care of, but we haven't been able to. And so we're just, feels like we're getting progressively more and more unhealthy as every day goes along. And I was super frustrated with this. I was talking to my wife and just voicing that frustration. And she reminded me of something that I know this, but I can get in my feelings. And so sometimes she has to remind me. But she said, Dev, do you not think that the Lord can fix all of that with a snap of a finger? And the thing is that I know she's right because he's done it before. We've been in a situation where our credit was destroyed, our financial situation was completely wrecked. We were living in her grandmother's rental house, and we're literally like our car got repoed at one point in this process. We were so poor, we were walking to the grocery store to get groceries because we couldn't afford gas to get there and the groceries that we needed to buy, even though the thing was only 2 miles away. I mean, it was at that level. But when the Lord was done with the season, when he was ready to restore, when he had completed the work in us that he needed to complete, he literally snapped his fingers and it was over. I got a call from a client that I had done some work for in the past, and they wanted to hire me. And within a week, we went from our car getting repoed to getting a signing bonus that was big enough to wipe out all of our debt and everything that we were behind on. A salary that was like 50% more than what I had been making before, and was able to use that salary to completely reconcile our financial situation, a paid move to another state, and it was literally as if the last 2 years of damage had just never happened. And as I reflected on that, it occurred to me that the same thing happened to Job. Everything in his entire life was completely wrecked, destroyed, and wiped out. And when the Lord was done, when the situation was over, the work that needed to be accomplished was accomplished, he restored everything seemingly overnight. New wife, new kids, lands, everything, health, all of it, fully restored at times a multiple, not just a restoration, but absolute restoration plus a much more than what he had before. When we're in seasons of hardship, I think this is an area that Satan is really effective at trapping us. Is he starts to point to the things that are breaking down, and he says, these things are never going to be able to get fixed. Like, we're passing the point of no return. If we keep going down this path, at some point, these things won't be able to be fixed. They won't be able to be restored. If you don't deviate from this path, if you don't conform your soul to the thing that I'm telling you need to do, you're going to cross a point of no return where you can never get it back. And this is where we have to have the faith of Abraham, where God made him a promise and he said, I'm going to make you a father of many nations through your seed, through your heir. And when he gave him Isaac, the only son, which was a miraculous birth, something that was provided in such a way that there was seemingly no possible way that it could be replicated. And when God called him to go and sacrifice his son, it says that Abraham must have believed that God had the ability to raise him from the dead, or to provide another seed in a miraculous way, because he was willing to even sacrifice the very promise that God had given him, because he was that confident in God's ability to restore and fulfill the promise that he made, even if Abraham sacrificed it. This is the mindset that we have to take on when we're in one of these seasons, because the circumstances are the things that train us. It's the testing of our faith that produces perseverance, and perseverance that produces character, and character that produces hope, the ability to hold on to the certainty that God loves us and that he has the ability to restore everything. It is the pressure on our soul that reveals in us what God has placed in us, so that we can have confidence in our inheritance. So if you're in one of those seasons right now where it feels like your body or your relationship or your business or your economy or your circumstances are nearing a place of no return, or are coming to a place that you can't come back from, that couldn't possibly be restored, don't allow Satan to suck you in to selling your soul by getting you to conform to a pattern of life that is different than the one that the Lord has assigned to you for this season, for the production of the maturity necessary for you to actually take possession of your inheritance and come into the calling that He has for you in this life. Remember that there is nothing that can happen in this life that God cannot undo. There's nothing that you can experience in this life that He cannot undo, whether in this life or the next. We serve a God that has the power to raise people from the dead. So whether we see them here or whether we see them on the other side, God has the ability to bring forth that which was not as though it was. He has the ability to restore economies no matter how devastated they are. He has the power and the might to restore any circumstance, any relationship, any situation that is falling apart in your life as part of His process of preparing you to be the very thing that He has designed you to be. The saddest thing in the world is not experiencing difficulty. It is reaching the end of your life having not become the very thing that God put you here on this planet to become. When it's all said and done, some of you are going to be like Esau, grieving at your father's feet when he tells you that he has no inheritance for you because you sold it for a bowl of stew.